Hey gang, hi. Excuse me. It's Nettie Estes here, and it's Monday night, and it's tilt time. You know what we're all about, gang. The ones that show up all the time, and the new ones. I want to just say hi to you. We're the Total Inspired Living Tribe, and our goal behind these hangouts is to bring you motivation and value every single week, so that you can attack it, and you can go after your business, and you can just take it to the highest level that you want to go, because we know you can all do it, and it always helps to get motivation, always. Now, if you're new here, please introduce yourself into the chat roll, because we would love to say hi to you. And if there's anything that you ever want us to talk about, for heaven's sakes, please just put it out there, because we're open to suggestions. But one of the things that we as a group have decided that we would like to do a little bit more of with all of you, and I hope you like this, is start to do some training. So we are now Tilt Training. And tonight was going to be our inauguration night, so to speak. We were going to talk about, now here, let me read this, what the title is, because it's a long one, so I want to make sure it's what no one is telling you about congruency in your business. And you know, that is something that we don't talk about. I mean, it's mentioned. It's like, make sure it's congruent, and then we skip right over it, and we don't really go into depth. We talk about, you know, presenting our products. We talk about storytelling. For those of you that are in our business, we talk about landing pages, opt-in forms. Everything needs to be congruent, and yet nobody teaches that. And it's such a super important aspect of you either being successful or you either going down the tubes with your business. So let's go back and just understand what congruency is. If you were to look up the definition of congruency, it would tell you that it's in harmony, or coinciding, or being on the same page as one another, or hand in hand. And so you get my drift. Like, if you're going to be congruent, the last thing you want to be doing is telling somebody something over here, and then when they walk into a door, it's a complete fairy tale. Nothing like what you've just said to them. So I think, you know me and my stories. I want to tell you a story. I know it's not the motorcycle one, but excuse me. Before I get into this story, I have to tell you that I'm not sure where this hangout's going, because Shirley May has spent an enormous amount of time bringing some slides together to show examples of congruency on our online marketing. And unfortunately, and she was going to share her screen and she was going to present this tonight. Well, unfortunately, the electricity went out just a little while ago where she lives, and she's been driving all over the countryside. It's a beautiful evening there. There's nothing wrong. There's no storms. It's got to be a transformer of some sort. She has no idea what's causing it. So let's hope that she can make it on. But in the meantime, we wanted to talk a little bit about what congruency is and how it affects everyone and what you're doing in business. So we'll hope and pray that she makes it on. And the other one that can't seem to get on tonight is Erica. So I don't know. It must be in the stars. Zen. We're going into a new, what do they call it, Equifax or whatever it is. Maybe the moon's crazy and the waters are flowing tonight. So it's just Luke and Fluke, which is Natty and Zen tonight. Okay. So here we go. I want to talk to you about an episode of non-congruency that I had. And this happened about, oh, I guess about a year ago, and I was working away at my home office here, and I had a knock on the door. Beautiful summer day, beautiful, and I thought, wow, who could that be in the middle of the day? And so I went to the door, and there was a young girl and a young man there. I'd say they were mid-20s, and I opened the door, and they said, hi, we're from Kirby Vacuum Cleaners, and we would like to talk to you about the Kirby vacuum cleaner. And I said, well, that's nice, but you're not going to, because I don't have the time. And not only that, I have a Dyson, and I'm really happy with it. So, the last thing I need is another expensive vacuum cleaner. And they said, oh, please, can we just come in? And at this point in time, I saw a van sitting a couple of doors down at another house. And I realized what they were doing that they were going through the whole neighborhood. Okay, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I'm not. Now, these people, they're trained salesmen. Like, they really know, if you don't let me in, I'm going to bust in type of thing. And so finally, they said to me, well, could he just come in, not her, because she was his superior. Could he come in and just show you how it works and give you a little bit of a demonstration, probably take no more than 20 minutes or so, because he gets $25 for every demonstration that he gives. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, yeah, really, the $25 would really help. I have a wife, I have a couple of small children, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I said, oh, look, I can let you in. I am not buying it. I am not buying it, though, so don't think that you're going to pressure me into this just because I let you in the door. And yet, on the other hand, they were pulling at my heartstrings because I knew that everybody has mouths to feed, so including their own. So they, we stood there and kind of bickered back and forth about, no, I really don't want to do this. It's just a waste of time. Finally, they said, oh, can you just come in, show it to you? It won't take long. Okay, come on in. But I said, I am not buying one. So I let him in the door, along with 500 frickin' pounds of vacuum cleaner coming behind him, box after box, and I'm like, what's going on here, So he sat down and he nonstop talked. He didn't sit down. I sat down, and I think Sam had come home by this point too, wondered what was going on. And he's like, we're not buying a vacuum cleaner. And I said, yeah, I know. I've already told him this. So anyways, this guy, he could sell ice to an Eskimo and poop to a farmer. I mean, this guy was really good. So he got out his vacuum cleaner and he set it up. And he started cleaning, a 9x9 maybe square foot of carpet for me. And I saw that it did good work, and I said, that's great. Are we done now? Like, I hope you get your $25 because I really need you to go. I got stuff to do. This was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 10 o'clock at night, I'm sitting in my living room with him, his downline, and the manager of the company. The van is parked out front of my house. We haven't ate dinner yet. And the $3,000 vacuum cleaner is now down to $1,195. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I just wanted to explode. But at that time, I think all I could do was laugh because I just thought how ridiculous this is. I mean, this guy made $25 off of demonstrate, and I also had most of my living room carpet cleaned by now, and I also had my mattress on my bed cleaned because, there's bug mites or whatever there are, so they go all through that garbly gook with you too and show you. I mean, I kept him much longer. I would have had the whole house clean. But I just wanted him gone, and the thing I'm getting at here, I felt so bad because $25, I mean, the guy, what did he average, like $4 an hour? Not even less than that. He spent 7 hours there. So the thing is, all I'm saying is with congruency, you don't say to somebody, this is what I'm going to offer you. and then get them in the door, whether it's a home party that you could say, come on over, it's just, oh, it's nothing, come on over, or whether it's an opt-in page, or whether you are meeting them somewhere at a public place to talk about business, you never ever say to them, well, it's just going to be this. And then when they get there, feed them this bunch of malarkey that has nothing to do with what you first said. If you are promising them an ebook and they opt in, then that's what you deliver on the other side. Now you can click it or connect it with a link saying, I'd like you to take a look at this other offer I have too. Or if you are inviting someone over for a home party, whether it's jewelry or whether it's shakes or whether it's a Tupperware, you tell them that that's what it's going to be, that that's what kind of a party it is. And I don't like being invited to those things and people saying, but you don't have to buy anything, because that's not congruent either. They want you there. They don't want you there just to feed you and give you a drink of wine. They want you there because the hostess wants to sell product for the person that's demonstrating so that they can get their free product or whatever. So I guess where I'm headed with this is congruency can make or break you. And in my personal opinion, I got introduced to this back in I don't know, some months ago when I started to do Facebook advertising. It was drilled home to me by the best of the best, which I consider Justin Varengia to be one of the best there is out there. It was drilled home to me that you have to be congruent. Like if you are running an ad on Facebook, then don't you dare get them to opt in and it be something totally like make money quick, or if you get in now you can make 400,000 by midnight, and all those. We've all seen those kind of crazy ads. So I followed the rules. I played by the rules, and my ad was very simply, my story. That's all it was, and I backed it up. I ran a couple of ads, but I backed it up with simple pictures. It was just one was Sam and I, and the other was also Sam and I, but they were different pictures at different areas. And I had so many shares, and I had so many likes. It was crazy. And I had people opt in to my link. And I had laid it all out in my story to them. I said, if you want to hear about the system that I'm using, the blueprint that I'm using, if you want to be around like-minded people, if you want to meet the mentor that I have, by all means, go ahead and click on the link. So they knew before they even clicked that where they were headed to, that they were going to be upsold on something. And it worked. I mean, I had all-ins. And in our industry, an all-in is when somebody comes in and buys all the products. And I had no problem getting that because they knew before they got in there. I had laid it all out. I had laid the truth out. And that's what congruency is all about, telling the truth. Do not try and fool the public, because they know when you're BSing them, and they get very angry about that, and it gives all of us MLMs, network marketers, make money from home, stay-at-home moms, dads, whatever you want to call us, bad names. It really gives the industry a really bad name. So the congruency is a must. It just is. I get upset myself when I see ads, and I'll click on them because they're really offering something of value. And I get in there, and I've got to go through 5 or 6 clicks to get to that value, or I got to, suddenly there's a $7 offer there, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's really sleazy. And so if anything, I've learned, not only for us to be authentic and use our integrity, but when we do our ads, we have to carry that through, because people are just they're not going to opt into you if you're not congruent. So when I did my ad, the story, then when they opted in, it took them, they clicked on the link and it took them to an opt-in page. And basically that opt-in page was a little tidbit from the story that they had already read. So it was nothing new to them. They were like, okay, this is what I got to do to get in there. And it worked. So, honesty is the best policy, and be congruent with whatever you are that you're promoting at the time. So I hope those little tidbits have helped you of what not to do. Don't beat a dead dog to death when you're trying to sell a vacuum cleaner or anything of that sort. But Zen, have you got some stuff that you would like to add? Zen?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, yes.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I wanted to elaborate just a little bit about the congruency factor of what you're offering, because especially in my email marketing, I'll put a video in there or I'll put wording that go ahead. I don't like using the word try, but I want people that it's going to be a fit for. So the fact that they opted in, I often mention that. You opted in, you obviously had interest in shifting. There was a thought that went through your head that you had a visual of a different life for a moment when you read something on that capture page. And when you put your email address in there, there was something going through your mind. Entrepreneurship, you're living your dream, whatever it was, brought you onto my list. And so now that you're on my list, and I'm giving you the overview, but the wording I like to use with them is, I want people that it's a fit for. So if I'm not providing value, please scroll down and unsubscribe. That's number one. Number two, I want it to be a fit for you. So yes, it's a $7 trial offer for 7 days. If it's a fit, be prepared to invest in your education, because no one ever made $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month with a $7 investment. If you do know somebody who has made that with just $7 investment, I want you to call me or PM me right away, because that is just not so. And we all know that. Now, we all do, from time to time, find somebody who reads a capture page, and I like to keep mine brief and congruent with where they're going, which is, are you looking for another way of living, freedom? I don't mention money, I mention freedom, because my level of freedom might be different than yours. And that might be an extreme amount of money per month for someone else, and for me it could be travel money, rent money, and the ability to hang out with my daughter. It just depends on who you are and what you're looking for in terms of freedom. So I don't mention money, but one of the things that I like to mention is investing in yourself, because people with the right mindset and with a wealth mindset spend money on a few things: housing, education, cars. That's it. Usually education is right up there, number one. Then you get the houses and the cars that go along with that. But they always, always invest in themselves. And if you can get people to understand that investing in themselves, investing in their future, and investing in attaining their dream, and allow them to see the reality that it's a real business. You don't make $100, $500, $1,000, or $3,000 a day by investing $25 or $50. It doesn't work that way. And no company on the planet ever made any money by never advertising. So either people have to spend an extreme amount of time, or you know what, if you're excellent at organic traffic, I shouldn't say an extreme amount of time. For me, it's an extreme amount of time because it's a mind meltdown. I'm not as good at organic traffic as many other people that I know. But if you're going to do paid advertising, whether it's Facebook, and you don't have to spend an extreme amount of money on Facebook, but solo ads can be quite expensive. Instagram, whatever you're choosing to use your money wisely, but you are going to invest some money. And years ago, I used to sell print advertising, and often when companies would cut their budgets, one of the first things they wanted to cut was advertising and marketing. And I would say, listen, you know what? It's not about me making money, but if you do that, that's like cutting off your nose to spite your face, because how will people know that you're there, and how will you gain market share or customers? Are you going to rely on foot traffic or no advertising? That makes zero sense unless you want to go out of business. So one of the things that I like to make clear, especially in my email marketing, is invest in yourself. And yes, you're going to invest as a real business to grow your business. And it's a miracle to me that people think like this. And I'm just going to lay it out, and I'm going to be Luke and Fluke here for a minute. But it amazes me how many people get into business and go, I want to make 50 grand a month within a year. Well, how many jobs out there have you ever grabbed that gave you that kind of money? So what are you willing to do to get 50 grand a month in 1 year? Because that's pretty extreme. Now, if you're talking lower numbers, and that's why most of my video advertising and my captures, I don't mention money, but in my email marketing, because it is a goal of mine, and I like to keep it smaller because this sounds more realistic to people. Every month, I want 5 people who want to make 5 grand a month. And I want those people to want to pay that forward and get 5 people who want to make 5 grand a month. Because 5 grand a month may not change your entire lifestyle, but it's enough to get you motivated to come up with another goal. And it's enough for people to see that it's a realistic thing, a marker to hit, and it's a realistic thing that I say you're going to do some work for that. That's congruent. Because I'm not telling you you're going to sit and push a couple of buttons and get $1 million, because you're not. That's not the way business offline or online works. So that's it. And in my capture page, I know from fooling around with my capture pages, and I often get caught up in when I make them, that I like to keep everything congruent in, where they opt in, show me now, and then sometimes you have a second part of that page, and I've changed the verbiage there, and I've tried to keep that real clean and neat, and everything's very similar, so that people don't get confused about exactly what it is that I said to begin with, where they click through and then suddenly feel, how did I get here? No, I want them to click through and know that they got here to me because they saw something I said, and it's congruent with they went to next, whether it's a bridge video or, I have a thank you page that pops up with my picture there and some verbiage about what we just talked about on the first part of the capture page. So I like to keep it clean and neat and where we're going with it. And like Nettie said, I just like to keep it true. So the investment is the investment in the education of yourself and in your business. And you're going to do that whether you start a brick and mortar business or you start a business online. The reason why people often, and Nettie mentioned it, with MLM and network marketing is because people do tend to be flash in the pan sometimes and offer incongruency. And, while I sit back and say that's not right, people are always going to do things in every business that aren't right. So I'm asking you to just be congruent so that we can make this business sound like the lovely business that it is. Because if you are congruent, people are attracted, and then they're congruent. So you'll attract congruency because you're being congruent. And I think that's all that I really have to say, because right at the moment I'm kind of live from Connecticut, where I'm here visiting family because I have an ill mother at the moment. So I really wasn't prepared to speak on this. I was actually really looking forward to Shirley's training with screen sharing. So I think we're going to get to that probably next week. But this was something that, unbelievably, I did have a little time while she was sleeping today. So I listened to a special replay on being congruent elsewhere. So it was actually really cool that the universe put us together, Luke and Fluke, Zen and Nettie. And that's just all that we can offer you for tonight. I hope there was some value in what I said and what Nettie said, and I'm going to hand it back to you now, Nettie. Thanks.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and what you said is pure value there about your ads and everything. And I just want to take a second and elaborate a little bit on that. Um, Sam and I, since we've gotten into this business, we have always been congruent with our story also. And I can look at Zen, and her story has always been congruent. And if Erica, she's behind the scenes typing on the chat roll and whatnot, but her and Alex, their story has always been congruent. It's always, always, always never changed. And you know what happens after a year and a half, 2.5 years of that? People are drawn to you, because they know you're honest, they know you're authentic, they know you're real, because you've never wavered. So, and I'm certainly not pointing fingers, but there are some out there that I know, and they're the nicest people in the world, but they love shiny balls, and they get kind of taken off track sometimes when they go running after those things. And people notice that because it's not congruent. Because, 1 week this is the most amazing business to get into, and then 3 months down the line, it's like, oh, well, I found something else, and this is the best business to get in. That is not what I call congruent, okay? Every single one of us on this panel, the congruency is, yes, we would be lying if we said that we weren't wanting to make some money online. But the congruency theme of all of this is to always continually help you and to bring you value. And that goes not just with this 1 hour on a Monday night. That goes with our blogs. That goes with our videos. That goes with our training that we do within our group too. And so I'm pretty proud of that we've never lost that authenticity about ourselves. That's why we're here, gang. We're here to be helping all of you, and we're congruent that way. So that's where our message has stayed all through the year. And so pick something and be congruent with it. Okay, don't be bouncing around. Now, the other thing, getting back to business with your congruency, if you do run some kind of an ad on Facebook and or Twitter, or, well, no, I'm going to stick with Facebook because I don't know how Twitter works, or Instagram with ads, but YouTube is another one I can bring into this. If you offer them something on an ad and then they opt in, or they click on it and it takes them to an opt-in page, if it's not congruent, Facebook won't approve you. So you have to keep everything on a congruency level. And they're kind of like the Facebook, they're the Facebook cops. They're watching it. And I think that's a pretty good idea. Now, sometimes it can be pretty frustrating because you don't really see what the problem is if they disapprove your ads. But if you're just upfront and honest, and these make $1 million in 1 month, that's crazy, those crazy ads. But keep your ads to just flow. So an ebook on making a list, how to make a list or something. That's what your ebook should be about, okay? And it'll be approved just like that. Now, we had an earlier training today within our team, and it was about Instagram. And if you do join us and you become part of our team, you will be given that training, and it's really good on Instagram. But Hayden Walker, that did it for us, he's on our team. He showed the congruency of Instagram also. He's a fisherman, and he promotes to people who want to make money while fishing. And he showed his whole Instagram, and it was one after another, after another, after another, pictures of fish or boats or people fishing or people that had caught fishing. And I mean, it wasn't boop, all of a sudden there was somebody puking these ads at you, you know, that showed results of how much money they had made. It wasn't anything like that. And he has grown his list and his followers, I guess you would call it too, on Instagram. Crazy. Like within 3 weeks, he's up over a couple thousand. And it's all because people see his congruency and trust him and they like him, so they are following him. And now they're starting to ask him about his um, particular make money online. And when he does send them the link for that, it's amazing because he even takes them to a thank you page where it says gone fishing. And it doesn't even mention anything about how to make the money online. It takes them to another map of, you know, where I think it's like where fish can be caught around New Zealand at this point in time. I don't fish, don't like it, don't even like to eat it, so I don't know what that is. But all I'm saying is it comes back down to the congruency. You don't start talking about a garden full of roses and end up talking about, you know, let me see, you know, cows over in a manure pile or something like that. It's just you can't do that. So keep in mind that people's memory, it's kind of the funny way it works because people will always remember something that was a little sneaky, a little maybe not kosher, maybe not exactly the truth, maybe what's another word I'm looking for? People that they'll always remember when you tried to pull the wool over their eyes, okay? They don't always remember the good things because that's why, like, when we go back to this online marketing, it's a proven thing that they have to see something 7 times before they're really prepared to buy. So they won't remember the good ebook that you gave them or the good video that you gave them or something else that you've given them right off the bat until you give them something else. And then after about the 5th or 6th gift, they're like, hey, I kind of like this person. You know, they do okay. They give away a lot of valuable products. But if you mess with them the very first time they opt in, they'll see your ad and, you know, their time line, and they are going to run from you as fast as they can, and they will make comments that are derogatory and hurt you. So that's about, you know, if I can leave you with anything, just be yourself, be authentic, be truthful. I know you all are. All you people that watch this hangout, oh my gosh, you're the best. And market the best. Just be really proud at the end of the day how you market with yourself. So I think at that I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I know it's a little early, but I mean, I wasn't prepared for this either because Shirley was going to be sharing her screen and running slides, and she was going to be showing us real life examples of online. So next week we'll go back to this again, and I apologize one more time that we weren't able to present it to you. It was just something in the cards tonight. It wasn't meant to be. But like I mentioned before, we had an awesome training this morning with the Instagram. So Total Inspired Living Tribe is really good at the training. So if you've been thinking about getting into something like this, you know, online business, talk to us. Click the link below. Get started. Get back to the person that invited you to this hangout because we are growing at a speed that is fantastic. It's just making us all so happy, and we're going to continue to bring you these hangouts. But if you want to be a part of it and maybe even get on these hangouts, join us. Join us. Don't think about it. Just go with your gut feeling. We'll teach you how to be congruent. We'll teach you how to be happy in this business. So click that link below. Next week we'll be back with training, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. So have a good evening, everybody, and at that, like, take care. We love you.
Can I just say one thing?
You sure can.
Just one thing. I just wanted to say, after every hangout that we've had in recent weeks, I always get some extra friend requests on Facebook. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for that. It really pleases me when I get off this hangout and I go back to my Facebook page and there's, I don't know, 3 to 10 people with a friend request in the queue. It just brings a tear to my eye because it's really sweet, because I think that, you know, you've listened here, you've watched here, you heard something that maybe Nettie said or I said, and you want to connect, and I think that's beautiful. So thank you so much. I just wanted to say that.
That was so beautiful, Zeb, because I feel the very same, and I get the same response like that. I get the most friend requests Monday night and Tuesday of all the
Yeah.
days, and I know it has something to do with this. And God bless you all. I mean, you know, we love doing this for you, the doer, the dreamer, the entrepreneur. So don't forget, click the button and get on board with us. We rock. Tilt rocks. Total Inspired Living Tribe. If you're not tilting, you're wilting. And we will see you all next week, okay? Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night. Bye-bye.